Godfrey of the 110th. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I hope I'll be more serious. We've had a very good run here in the state of Connecticut on gun responsibility, going back 37 years. In 1990, we passed the first gun responsibility law since like World War II, when we did the Kids and Guns Act, which criminalized the negligent storage of firearms. There had been 6 kids who died in the summer of 1989 because an adult had, in my humble opinion, stupidly and negligently left a loaded gun where they could get their hands on it. They played with it. And the 6 kids died. DJ Keeney was one of them. His mother, Susan, was the proponent of the Kids and Guns Act, which passed overwhelmingly in this House, regardless of party or geography or anything else, ideology. And that began this long series of gun responsibility laws. Most of them, like this bill today, are proactive. They're looking to stop something from happening, something that could be fatal, something that certainly is harmful. And this is the latest example of that. And I do want to congratulate Representative Stastrom. He has been a staunch defendant for people who could be harmed by guns, and he's done a terrific job over the years. Only twice have we been reactive. The Kids and Gun Bill I just referenced, and of course, dealing with the massacre at Sandy Hook in 2012, if my memory serves me well. And I wanted to say John McKinney, who was a state senator at the time from Fairfield County, did a terrific job chairing the very special kind of select committee, if you want to call it that, that resulted in that. But in 1994, we banned the civilian possession of military-style assault weapons. And that was litigated in the state courts. And it's interesting because the Connecticut Constitution specifically says citizens, and only citizens, have the right to bear arms in their own defense and defense of the state. And I've always found this interesting. And the court, the Connecticut Supreme Court, because we're talking about Connecticut law, as Representative Stastrom has alluded, this bill deals with Connecticut law, not with any other kind of law. But the court found, yes, there is this constitutional right of citizens to bear arms in their own defense and that of the state, but the legislature, under its general police powers, can define what firearms are defensive weapons. So we're within that constitutional limit, which is much broader, in my opinion. The state constitution, I think, is more protective than the federal. So I think with all that background, that history we've had for 37 years, this is just the next step, and it's being very proactive. And we're not banning a particular group of guns, although we could possibly have that power under the state constitution. We're just saying you can't have these guns, have manufacturers of these guns bring them into the state if they're too easily converted into a semi or even fully automated weapon. And it's interesting, I've heard in some of the discussion we've had over the last few days, Glock already makes these. It's not like they're going to have to turn around and produce and design a new weapon. They already make them. They're illegal in, I think, California and in Maryland and in Germany, our friends in the EU. So I'm hoping that we can not only follow these other jurisdictions that have done this, but that we can continue to be the proactive jurisdiction dealing with making our streets and our homes and our schools and all of our institutions much more safe here in Connecticut. I'm delighted to have seen in the last few years the number of violent crimes in this state keeps plummeting, murders keep plummeting, gun violence keeps plummeting. I'd like to get it down to zero, obviously, but I think that it is just, my conscience says, support this bill. It will save lives, as we have done in the past with a lot of the bills this jurisdiction has adopted, and that will be safer. We'll all be safer. Kids will be safer. Adults will be safer. Neighborhoods will be safer. Cities will be safer. The state of Connecticut will be safer. So I would very much encourage my colleagues to vote yes on this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Godfrey. Will you remark further?